today.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, she came from Meet the Master. We had no minute to prepare.
Oh, Jesus, thank you. Thank you, Michael. I will put it on the table. Yes. Thank you.
Ja. Also sehr schön. Oh! Alexei, herrlich.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, thank you.
So, Kata, we have the Meet the Master talk today together, and you came all the way from Hungary to Nordheim, and perhaps you talk about why, what was interesting for you to be part of the conference and to be a teacher here.
It was very interesting for me because, first of all, I don't know how you feel, but for us, after the COVID, a lot of things changed.
Yes.
And now we have less invitations, so this was the practical answer, that I got an invitation, so I was very happy that someone is interested about my thoughts. And the second thing is that it is so rarely, usually I am working as a secretary in the lawyer's office. This is from where I get money from. And making puppetry is so rarely now that it is, I am very happy even when I can touch this field. And this is the honest answer for this question.
Yeah, and so you just changed your job?
No, to be honest, you cannot live only from puppetry in Hungary. And there is a lot of other kind of solutions, and during the COVID, most of the artists lost their job, and they find out another profession, mostly in the environment, and other kind of, they became taxi drivers and food bringers and so on. So I was very happy that I get this kind of classified possibility to be a secretary.
Yes. And you, before COVID, what was your profession then? What did you do then?
I directed mostly, and I was a professor. I was not a professor, I was a teacher in the University of Theatre and Film Arts in Budapest.
Aha.
But the life is changing something. I would be, don't be shocked, I'm sorry,
yeah.
I didn't prepare that. So I am looking at her eyes and I immediately see that this is shocking information. I will speak about how I get to the puppetry, okay?
Yeah, okay. Just to comfort me.
Yes, a little bit, and then you can, of course, you can provoke me anytime. Okay?
Yeah, yeah.
It was I was listening the Helena's and David's speak. I'm so sorry I could not be here in the Sylvia's speech. But I am always curious how the people can find puppetry, or puppetry, how the puppet can find the people. And with me it was the second example. Because I find the puppets or the puppetry arts in Poland. This was the place where I graduated. And before Poland, I was an actress, dramatically actress in Hungary, a freelancer. And I really was very happy because I could work with a lot of different directors and different places, institutional, independent, different kind of theater genres. Mm-hmm. And when I got to know that I was in love with one boy, and we were together in one theater, but I saw that if we will not develop, it will be the same lifestyle as a lot in the East. That he became an alcoholic, I will become an understand artist. So I thought that I don't want to this life. So we find out that there was a possibility to learn to studying abroad. Mm. So I told to my boyfriend that I would like to go with him, and we did the entrance exam successfully. We went to Poland and we separated then. And after 5 years, it was very complicating, but because we were older than our classmates, it was very interesting to analyze the whole situation from that point of view. And also, I just understood later on, 1 year later, that this is why I had to come here to be in love with puppets. Mm-hmm. So I went to Poland because of my love, and I found out another love in Poland. And this is how I became a puppeteer. Mm-hmm.
And then after this, you were working also in Poland in some...
Time to time I get an invitation as a teacher also, and as a director also. I also was very lucky because I finished in Białystok and I had 3 realizations in Bethel, in Białystok theater, puppet theater, and they are still playing. Mm-hmm. 2 of them. The first one is Lenka, and the second title is Palko, and it was written by a Hungarian designer who is making mostly illustration for children's book. But she was writing her own story when she was young. Mm-hmm. She was fat and not understood by her age. Mm-hmm. And this is why she became more and more drawing. And because of her draw, he met one boy who was another kind of not understand someone, and they became a friend. And I put this in 2 pieces, in 2 performances, one from the girl's point of view and another from the boy's point of view. And they are really successful with this play because we get a lot of prizes and they are still playing a lot. And it is a mostly when I'm working abroad, I am doing non-verbal performances. Not because I don't speak Polish, but for me it's much more interesting to find out the way how we can communicate with different layers and with different languages, with the pictures, with the gestures, with the movements, with the presence. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, your way was from acting to puppetry.
I was accepted when I was an actress, but we decided that we tried to 2 directions, and we finished with 2 diplomas, with directing and with acting. Mm-hmm. And we are very proud because until now we are the only one as a graduated students who could finish it in one's 2 direction. Even Polish person could not do it. But I think the answer is because we were older and we knew what we want, and we had a lot of experience before. Yeah. We had some years behind us, and because we already finished the university in Hungary, this is why the theoretical part was much more higher than for the younger people. And this is why it was much more easy to fulfill all the duties in the 2 directions. That we didn't have to read so much. We had to fulfill all the written exercises and requests.
Mm-hmm. But I just thought you are managing really a lot of things. Just here, you came together with your children, and you have to take care of your group, you have to take care of your children, you have to solve a lot of problems, and beside this, at home, you are working, you have the children, you are also president of UNIMA. You founded, I don't know if I read it correctly, another organization in Poland?
No, in Hungary.
In Hungary,
yes.
Yeah.
I can describe it. I cannot sit in one place too long. Okay, I have to do something. This is the life when you got children. You have to somehow separate yourself, And it is sometimes very nice and very fruitful and with a lot of fun. But sometimes there are some ages when it is starting to be complicated, but you cannot avoid it. You have to cross it. So yes, I in my life now I have a situation when I would like to be with them a little bit longer, because now a few years and they will gone. And also the answers, because I separated, so practically I don't want to leave them alone at home. And I would like to make some safe place for them. And also I would like to share with them that there are different directions in the world and different nations and different answers for the questions and so on. So except that, I also feel that I came to this earth with a lot of energy. And I would like to do with something what is really useful for others. And this is when I see that teaching became for me very easily. I like expressing my thoughts, I like sharing, I like opening doors, and I really try to give freedom for my students or participants, that they can researching or they can make their own research. And it gives a lot of energy and happiness to me as well when I see the development and I see how it is carrying on. But another way, I was lucky because my father's mathematics, so I like the structures, and I very easily kept the structures, and I like building structures. And this is why to understand different kind of rights and laws and countries and languages and structures, I just have another kind of fun with it. So when I see that there is a need to build something, I would like to be there to build it. And directing and acting, it is another kind of passion.
And you tell something about your role in UNIMA, Hungary, and in this other association, which I don't know.
Yeah, there is two other associations. UNIMA, it was also very fun. It was very strange circumstances. When we graduated, I finished in 2006, and at 2008, the board of Hungarian UNIMA just decided that they would like to be retired, and they would like to give to the younger generation hands all the ideas what we would like, what we can fulfill it. And yes, it was nice because there was 5 young person who had a lot of dream, and our president was another girl. I think she's older than me 2 or 3 years. She gets very quickly pregnant, and she just called me that, Kata, please, take it, be a president. I said, what, excuse me, which kind of president? And I said, I cannot do it, I will be not able to, that please agree with it. Okay, so, okay, I agree. And so I think we were too young, and we didn't had too many negative experience that to have a fear. So I had to learn what does it mean UNIMA in my skin. That okay, first when I went, I just even mentioned to Helena just yesterday or before yesterday that my first congress was in Chengdu, and then I was pregnant with my son with 6 months, and I just begged to everyone, just please go to the Chengdu because I don't want to travel so long. Oh, I cannot because of that. Oh, I cannot because of that. So okay, I decided okay, I will go. And when I arrived with this big stomach, and I was just sitting there and looking around, and I completely didn't understand nothing. So I just looked to my neighbor, and she was Helena, and knocking the shoulder that, please, can you describe me what is going on here? And she was so patiently describing it. These days we will do this and this and that, and next day we will do this and this and that. So this is how I started to understand the logic, the structure also of UNIMA, and I try to find my places in it, because I am also, I don't like to be somewhere just sitting and looking around, and so I am always trying to find my place and my activities. So yes. I was very happy when I could open the Humanities Commission, and I could start to work on that theme, what is important for me also. And this is about UNIMA. And the other organization was this kind of strange circumstances, because when we finished, I mean, this boy who was my ex-boyfriend, me and another girl from Poland, and there was another girl who just finished Innsbruck Hochschule. But we also was Hungarians, and with our colleagues together we found out around 2006 that we would like to found foundation or civil organization when we can gather this generation and we can somehow help to each other, sharing ideas or make the tasks as clear as it can, or somehow controlling the contracts, because also there was a lot of problems. It was not valid and not right. And we just opened this foundation, and Andrea said, okay, but you will drive it. And I said, what I will do? And they said that this was your idea, so you have to do it. So, okay, again, I had to understand and I had to learn what does it mean managing an organization in my skin, right? And then what was just I mentioned yesterday, that because we had this kind of strange situation with in the politic sides with our university, that they just stole. I mean, that politicians just stole our university, and our students occupied the whole university, and most of the students wanted to come out from the university, so we organized another kind of possibility. And because I had a lot of international experience, I had a lot of contacts, and I built an international courses. What we got a grant from Erasmus. It's called puppetry, and but we couldn't open the course. We made an entrance. We win the grant. We had an entrance exam. We had our students, but because of the COVID, we couldn't start it. And then the next year, this kind of political disaster happened, and we just couldn't start it. It was a very interesting initiation, because there were so 4 countries, Visegrad countries, Czech, Poland, Czech Republic, Poland, Slovakia, and Hungary. With 4 universities, we opened a puppetry MA course. It was the first in the theater field, what was accepted by Erasmus, and the students came from different parts of the earth, and it was really very excited that there were students from Africa, students from Deep Asia, students from South America, from North America, from Europe, and we wanted to. Our dream was that we would like to give them each semester in each other countries. So it was very interesting to build the whole course, and because it was my idea, I was the leader of these courses and the main organizer. But because I had to quit from the university, I told to my colleagues that I'm so sorry, I cannot continue my work as a teacher, because I have to stand up and I have to leave my profession. But if you would like to, you can continue. But they decided that they will close the course, so we just couldn't open it. But because of these circumstances and because of this knowledge, I could help a lot to our students, to how they can find a way, which university they can accept the knowledge and ECTS numbers, and how they can get diploma from other universities. So I was, again, a leader or the organizers of these movements. And then they decided that when we founded another kind of civil organization, that I was the president of that organization as well during 2 years. So there are some circumstances, and I am just standing there and looking around. Okay, what's the next?
So there is a lot of organization in your life.
Yes.
And I think there are also artistic dreams.
Yes, sure.
And what are these artistic dreams?
I am really wondering, and I am trying to find out the answers, but I already give here, I think, for several people, that I am searching the connection with the younger generation, and I am really trying to understand how we can connect and what can be interesting for them. I am completely not fan of the social media, and I don't know how. I am not in Instagram. My daughter is on Instagram, but I don't feel this. I cannot touch it. And except that way, I would like to really find out how we can tell the stories, tell our experience, how we can give our inspiration and knowledge to the next generation. This is inspiring me a lot as a human being also, and not just as a creator. And also I am, because what I just mentioned in my speech, that I really believe that there's a lot of things is changing, and I just would like to understand how we can be in these changes and what we can get out from it. So this is also another kind of research topic for me.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Someone of you has questions.
Oh.
Okay, if nobody has questions, then I start. Traditionally. Kata, what's your vision for the Unima?
But which one?
The World Unima. We begin with the World Unima.
The World Unima, you mean, or the Hungarian?
We begin with the world, and then we go.
I think I see that there is a lot of needs to changing in Unima as well, and also there is some much more active members and committee than the others. So somehow I think it would be nice if we can equal it. And I think there is a time when we have to find out how we can help to the board to make a livable structure, because it is not useful anymore. And because there is too many needs from different reasons. And of course I'm not mentioning only the war, but it's the biggest one. But there are, so the function what Unima fulfilled on the 80s, 70s, it is completely lost now. And there is a completely different way what we have to build. But we have to rebuild it together.
What function was in the 70s, 80s?
I think it is the connection. How the people could connect, because there was no internet, and this kind of net was very useful. How the people know each other and how they can give the contact to each other, and how the invitation can come and cross borders. But now there is another needs. I mean, the connection is still alive. I mean, this kind of needs of the connection is still alive. But I think because we lost completely the focus, all the people knows or means another focus of Unima. So it would be so nice just sit down and just to talk about what it is.
The meaning.
The focus.
The meaning of Unima.
Thank you. He's my participant, so we spent 4 days together. And yes, as usual, the meaning. And then we can find out how we can build this. Because there is no money. It is not, and today's life is talking always about money. And I think the people who are sitting in Unima, it is not the main important thing. Most of the people, not this is the main important thing. But there's also, I feel that there is a lot of time when you feel unuseful, that you are sitting there, you cannot help, you cannot do nothing at all. You would like to, but you don't know how you can start. And I think just really sitting there and just open different kind of topics and put everything on the table, it would be very useful.
I have an idea. Maybe the World Unima needs a new web page, because recently we, as the German Unima, we got a new web page, but in order to fill it, we had to sit down together and think, what do we actually want? Because otherwise you cannot make a web page.
Alexa, you don't know which kind of painful topic you just...
Oh, no, it's okay, it's okay.
It is not of me. No, from my point of view. But Dimitri was working really hard and a lot on the new web pages, and there are completely different difficulties. Making anything in an international organization is much more complicated than doing something international. It is also not easy at all, but you have to put it 3, 4, 5, sometimes 10 times higher. This limit.
The complications.
Yes, yes, yes. So it is, yes, this is one of the aim of the new board, to refresh it and to make it more livable and more useful, but it is completely not so easy.
And in Unima, Hungary?
I think it is not just to us, but we are also, we would like to solve out the problems that most of the members are completely inactive. And there are some who really would like to be a member as a member, but there are some who just, who even just, you are trying to write them, there are no answers, you are trying to get out some information, there is no answer. So I am really, from 2008 that there was a lot of time spent, and we had a different kind of try, and all of it just crashed. So I really giving a question that this is the right things to have an organization with the base of the members. Because from the another side, it is always very funny when there comes a new festival and they are jumping on us that we would like to be a part of the Unima. We would like to be a Unima festival. Okay, but do you know what does it mean? No, but we would like to. And it is not the deal that you have to sit and describe which kind of regulation you find out, or it is something what is much more deep, I think. But making something from the not active members, it is just really, I feel that my energy just goes somewhere. Just I lost it.
Yeah, maybe this is an issue that we can solve together.
Yes, sure.
Thank you. No, I was just wondering about the puppet theater situation in Hungary. If there are if there are interesting groups about the education. If what kind of puppet theater the groups are doing, these kind of things.
Okay. What will happen with the education I cannot answer, because now the people who took the university and they are leading this part of the arts in Hungary, of course they have their own vision. I don't know. This vision is based on the political issue. I don't know if it will be, if it will have any kind of success, because the sad thing is that we are a very small country. We have less than 10 million people in Hungary. So we have two higher institutions, one is university and another one is, but both of it is in one man's hand now. And what is not, I would like to be correct. So why it has happened? It has happened because the people who lead the university before, they are also coming from one very small group. And this kind of quarrel or hate or big emotion, it gives out, or it turns to the situation what unfortunately the students is on the other end. And of course for the young generation, they just would like to learn. But when you have to make everything from the nationalism point of view, or from the side of nationalism, and all the poems and all the dramas and everything is, and it is something what I really don't know if it can work or it will be drive to nowhere. So this is my answer, that I don't know what will happen with the education. The second question is I think we, as I tried to explain it several days ago, we are in a deep shit because too many money was stolen from the government especially from EU's money. What was not went where it's supposed to. And this is why there is a lot money what is missing now. So they are cutting the money from the arts a lot. And it is what I mentioned, that now independent theater, just they don't have any grants, any kind of opportunity to get money. But institutional theaters also will have less and less and less, and no one knows where will be this end. So we have in Hungary 12 institutional theaters. In each region there is one. The biggest, of course, in Budapest. And the Hungarian law is accepting from the central budget some kind of amount % to this function, to have this kind of governmental institutional puppet theater. But because it gets less and less, and there is no grants, so everyone is trying to find another kind of solution. But because we are starting this, I don't know how it can develop. What we can see is just the next year, and what we will be after, no one knows.
But you mean 12
institutional theater.
Puppet theaters?
Yeah, in the East, don't forget.
Yeah.
And the system and the structure of the economical structure is based on mainly on the governmental money, what is come from every taxes and everything what the people paid. And it has to be divided from different places, and this one is to the art section. It doesn't change yet, but we are on the way that it will change. And I think my idea or my vision is that on the next very closely future, they will just close this kind of possibilities, and everyone has to find out how they will survive, with which kind of help, because the government there is no any money anymore for this function. Okay. But I would like to speak about the artistic side and the quality.
Yeah,
okay?
Exactly.
This is not just economical. And I think the first is that we were lucky that we went abroad, because we get a completely different influence and pressure and impulses. And when we came back and when we started to work, it was very good blood changes. Now we are missing this kind of blood changes, so we are also offering for this next young generation that please try to go somewhere else and go and see and come back and bring all the knowledge what you get and mix it. And so nowadays the Hungarian theater, and especially puppet theater, it is not so interesting. There are some of the pieces what is interesting, but I could not say that this is a most interesting puppet theater what is existing in Hungary. I have my favorite because of my taste, but I also see the struggle what they have as an artist. There are some directors who are changing and inviting people from abroad, scenographers, directors, who can make just a little bit this kind of blood change. This is the solution what we get right now, but because mostly of the economical reason that we don't have and we cannot planning for the longer future, it is just cutting the possibilities right now. But I have to say that I don't see black, so there is always a light in the end of the tunnel. May I get some more? Thank you.
I have a somewhat naive question, please forgive. Okay. One of my teachers was an artistic director of a theater in Sofia, Bulgaria, and he worked under a strong government that wanted only certain stories to be told. And your comment about the nationalistic perspective being promoted maybe that's not the right word, but somehow encouraged for the university students. I'm asking about censorship and how art is inspired by the oppression that they may feel. Artists can be inspired by the oppression that they may feel from censors. And this is coming from the perspective of my teacher who was in Bulgaria. And so I'm asking, is this something that you're seeing currently or in the future? And I would love to hear more about this very interesting dynamic when an artist is under oppression of some sort.
The thing is that also I think during the symposium I tried to describe this. I think there is different station. Be making very interesting theater under the pressure. It is not on the first year. So we are on the situation when their fear is much stronger than the needs to talk or to changing ideas or opinion. The funniest thing, and then now there are a lot of researchers about this, and it is really very interesting if you see or if you would like to understand from this point of view. Because the people are still so naive that they think that, okay, it is just complicating now, but tomorrow it will be better, or the next month will be better. And if I be quiet, maybe I will get some money, or I can continue what I did, because it is very useful what I am doing, because I see that I am making theater for blind people, I am making theater for gypsies in the countryside who never culture can come. So it means that it is needed from the point of view of the society, but no one gets money. And I think when the people will wake up and they will understand that there is no changes, it is not depending if you will be quiet or you will be open your mouth, then it comes a very interesting expressions and impulses or answers. But now, because everyone is shocked, there is too many things what is happening once, right? Also, the logic of Orban, it's so, how I can say, I don't want to be diplomatic, I am not good enough in English, that find the best word. She's so tactic, she has a very good tactic, that you understand just always later on why did he this. So we are too late from his point of from the point of his ideas or behavior or structure again. And the thing is that because I didn't find the word after I found it in the night, and what is in English when you are manipulating the people through the media and through the, it is not provocation, it is no propaganda. Yes, thank you. That was the word. So the propaganda is too strong that the people would like to believe in a propaganda, even if there is a clear answers and the clear other side of the problems, that please look at these numbers and look at those numbers. And there are some very clear answers for the very easy questions. And I am not talking about placards and this kind of stuff. But really what is unbelievable that there are family members who just don't talk each other anymore, because they don't want to fight, they don't want to agree, and because they know that the next person has a completely other side, but you know that your dictionary is completely different from his dictionary, so you will never understand each other. And until now, we are on that level and also I have to say that it is really shocking mentally and emotionally to most of the people. So you are not busy that, okay, which kind of theater I can create. It is just, first, how I can survive. Second, how I can save my family. Third, what I can make with my relationship if I lose my friends. because of this reason? Or do I am the blind who just cannot see what is the truth? So it is something what is really confusing. And now I think we are on that level that most of the people are confused completely. And the others are, as I told you, because you have to survive. So most of the people are busy to earn money. So when is the time and the energy to make performances? And this is the answer that because you cannot switch off your brain, you cannot switch off your feelings. So there is a time comes when you have to do it, and you have to put it on the table. But not right now, from our perspective. And of course, there is another deal that we are the neighbors of Ukraine, and it is another kind of pressure. So people from arts started with the whole Orban regime, and it is really very sad to understand it in your skin. When you were abroad 20 years ago, everyone was really just wondering, wow, you are from Hungary. It's so nice. It's so a little country, and you are using some kind of unhuman language, and how you can understand each other. It is just, yeah. I was always feeling that they take me like an UFO. I came from the other universe, but it was in the positive meaning. And it is just 15 years changed, and when I am entered the door and there are international groups, everyone is, okay, hi. So it is really something what you have to understand that of your responsibility, number first. And of course that where and how you can change, even if it is just very small changes. Or just starting giving impulse to have the change happen. So, what I didn't finish. There was everything started with this kind of stupid Orban politics, and then the COVID came. A lot of things was closed. The people could not have from the government. There was no help at all. So you have to find out completely different way. And then this kind of economical crisis, what is doubled in Hungary. Now we have the highest inflation, and we have less money. So it is really, really a big deal to survive, just for everyday life. And I think it has to have this kind of ending point. And a lot of people are waiting for this ending point as well. I don't want to finish with this sad mood. I have to say something.
More questions from the audience?
Oh.
So, if you don't want to finish with this sad mood, and you were talking about yes, the chance of the change, and your big wish, as I understand, to get into the boat, the young generation. What is the young generation? Very young, even younger, and how do you get to them, having described what you just described?
What is very interesting, and I will go back to the occupation, I meant to the young adult. Because when they did, no one thought that it will happen, number first, that they really occupy the university. And the occupation was during 71 days. And it was really shocking how the society had the reaction. They get a lot of food, they get a lot of things. The people coming to the university and giving them clothes and tents and really fruits, and even the companies just sending a lot of money to them. So the way immediately, and it was very interesting that it came not from the teachers' sides, but from the students' initiation. And then they organized a different kind of events, and there was one, we have a very big holiday on the 23rd of October, and they made a protest on the streets. And a lot of people came from the countryside to see it. There were more than 10,000 people on the streets listening what they are saying and how they are trying to formulate their sentence and their future plan. So immediately a lot of people get moved and be active. So I think, of course, because of the COVID and because of other kind of problems, we had to stop this kind of movements, and still now we can get a lot of requests that what is going on, what we are doing now. But nowadays there is another problem, what maybe some of you heard, with our teachers and with our pedagogues. And now they are protesting very well, and the youngest generation, so the teenagers and less teenagers on the streets. So I think it has to come from the younger generation. I cannot say that from the age 5, 6, 10, 12, 16 or 22. What I mean, it is because this kind of activism, it has to be really, it not can come from the middle age or from the old age. It has to come from them who will bring the future. And then a lot of people immediately will react. This is how I can. I mean, I saw with my eyes this example, and I can believe it, that it can happen.
This would be really wonderful. I was in Czech Republic, and we were talking with the Spanish people also, and from Slovenia and Czech Republic and France, and we were thinking perhaps it would also be interesting to make on international level some kind of work together about these directions that are also in Spain and in other countries.
Yes. I think this is the next step. And maybe this is the answer, Alexei, for your question, that this is what UNIMA for.
Yeah, because it is also a European problem.
Yeah, sure.
I wanted to ask about exchange. It's almost the same. The board, you are still European Union, so your country is still European Union. Yeah. You are here, and that's great. How is the possibility of traveling, of people coming from our country or from the other European countries, travel to Hungary, and the opposite of Hungarian young people, students, for traveling in Europe?
There's no problem.
Everything is open, so this is still a way to get in contact and to remain in contact.
Yes, sure.
Yeah,
and there is even, I just read yesterday that a lot of Hungarian students is learning abroad, I mean, who are living very close to the border, and the parents would like to give a better chance. Most of the children, Hungarian students, is not just the student who can travel with Erasmus or with other kind of scholarship, but even the younger generation who are going just to primary school, they are learning there. Yeah, it is, and it was shocking me that 2 years ago the number was around 1,600, and now it's more than 10,000.
That's,
so it is
that's
really
good news, isn't it?
It is in one way good news. From another way, it is. It means that we have really a big problem inside. That most of the people would like to escape their children with another possibility. And it is good that it is existing, the possibility is existing. It is good.
To avoid propaganda, it's important to know other languages.
Of course, but now it was written even in this article that because of this situation, most of the abroad towns in Austria, Slovakia, in Serbia also, they are giving now Hungarian teachers and opening a Hungarian class. So you don't have to learn German if you are learning in Austria, because they see these needs.
Yeah.
Of course, there are. I don't want to speak about the way, because there are other regulations what they have to fulfill. But yeah, there is a chance.
There is a chance.
This is nice to hear.
now I come back to puppetry. Here you work with objects and poems, I heard. What is... how do you choose it? Or you could also work for other things? Why objects and poetry?
Yes, it was when we have a meeting with Ruth, and when she was invited, I was asking what she think it will be much more useful if I am teaching a technique or if I am teaching some other things, and we just decided that abstract thinking will be interesting for you. So I thought that, okay, I would like to have some kind of center point, and it was the poem, that everyone can have their own reflection and feelings to the poem, so the analysis can be started easily than if I am saying just everyone has to work with this piece or with that piece. But now we are not just, we are not working only with the poem because I give out the title, so my participants, they are preparing different kind of pieces.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Can't see any hands? No hands?
So then, Kata, I thank you very much.
Thank you, Ruth.
We got a big flower, Blumenstrauß, I don't know the English word, bouquet of flowers with a lot of interesting flowers in it. Organizational structure and art. And thank you very much for telling so much about what you are doing.
Thank you for the invitation, really. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.